This Sunday on the Mike Nowak Show with Peggy Malecki, we have got an all-star cast for you. I am so looking forward to the show. We're going to start with Metropolitan Water Reclamation District Commissioner Kimberly Neely Dubuclet, who's going to tell us about some of the initiatives there. Then we're going to be previewing the One Earth Film Festival with film director Raj Patel. He is the co-director, co-producer of a film called The Ants and the Grasshopper. We're also going to preview some of the other films. We'll actually get to see a trailer from that film, and I think you're going to enjoy it. And then we go to a discussion about an issue that we've been discussing on this program for several weeks. That is the Carvana Tower in Skokie, which was proposed, which was voted on by the board almost 2 weeks ago, not quite 2 weeks ago, and was passed, unfortunately, which I call the Carvana car dispenser of bird death tower. And there are other words for it out there that are not so kind. Let me bring in a couple of people who have been involved in that issue. On the left, Annette Prince from the Chicago Bird Collision Monitors, and on the right, Kim Polka, who is a Skokie resident. And it's important that we have somebody from Skokie representing that point of view. Kim, the measure passed last week, and now there's going to be another vote coming up. What is the plan right now?
Well, Skokie sure doesn't make it easy for you to figure out that you can have a plan. We were under the impression that that vote was final. After some digging into the code, learning that there was a final reading and understanding what that meant, and that it could be pulled off a consent agenda, which allows it to be commented on by the public again, we're going back on the 22nd, and any person in attendance at that meeting can pull it off the consent agenda. Therefore, it's not on the consent agenda.
Well, when you say any person, are you talking any Board of Trustees member or any citizen?
No, Skokie has a newsletter, and it said that any board member or trustee member can pull it off the agenda. But I went into the code, and it says any board member, trustee, or any person in attendance at the meeting.
All right. And so what do you plan to do?
Like I said, it is not on the consent agenda. There were many people, it's my understanding from different trustees, there are many people who have emailed and called and asked for it to not be placed on the consent agenda. So there will be time for discussion before that vote is had. And there are trustees who are reaching out to people. One has reached out to me who had voted to approve. I met with him a couple of nights ago. And there are other trustees that I've heard are reaching out to others. So maybe they're listening, maybe they'll reconsider their vote.
Okay, and Annette Prince, what is at stake here? What happens if the Carvana Tower gets built? We know that it's not very far from Harm's Woods. We know that Chicago is an important migratory route for birds. What do you see happening?
We have great concerns that a tower like this, as measured for its threat level, is of great concern and has a high probability of being a hazard for the millions of migratory birds that pass through Chicago. We're worried about the location, the design, and the lighting. We think it's going to cause, besides the fact it's going to cause noise and light pollution, birds are going to be in trouble at this spot. And we feel it would have been very easy for Skokie to have required more mitigation. And if they didn't take the tower completely, Skokie could have, since they were in control of making exceptions for putting this structure in this location, they could have, and we just want to find out why we're at this place where they weren't willing to require additional protection such that they would have the tower that they seem not to want to give up on, but at least make the conditions be as protected as possible for birds. And although we are happy that we got light mitigation and more glass protection than we would have had if advocates hadn't stepped up and brought this issue to the village. We know that more could have easily been done, and why Carvana or the village didn't want this to be a win situation for them to look like a green initiative and let the birds win, let the village win, and let Carvana look like a progressive green company that wanted to do the right thing when they had all the evidence and advice of experts locally, statewide, and nationally to know what they needed to do.
So we're talking about a situation where Carvana won the first round. They are prepared to put this building up, which will probably result in a number of bird deaths. That seems unacceptable to a lot of people. Many of them testified at that meeting last week. It was a remarkable situation. I was stunned by the passion of the people and by the sense that the board was not listening to a single one of them. And so we move forward. All right, we're going to talk about this on Sunday. I appreciate having you both on. Don't forget to tune in to the Mike Nowak Show with Peggy Malecki, 9 a.m. Go to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe if you get a chance, and we will see you on Sunday.